So hang on. There we go. Any list. Make sure that you are doing your any list. That is huge and so important. And hang on, I'm going to change the settings real quick so people get muted as they come in. Hold on. Settings, mute upon entry. Okay, so make sure that you are personally doing your any list. You have got to get through it for 30 days so you can see what your customers are going to be doing. And your new distributors to see what they're going to be doing. If you have not started that, start it today. Today's Monday. It's a great day to start. But that's crucial. You have to do that. I am going through and doing it all again. And just because I want to go through the learn, I want to go through those basic training videos. I want to go through and all of the things, the videos and all of the links and things that I'm sending them. I want to see it again and refresh myself to make sure I know what they're doing. You know what I mean? So any list, put that number one at the top of your list, continue doing it or start it. The second thing is we've still got our $150 subscription free cheat month. So I love this. And let me tell you why. It's instant gratification. It is not spend this amount of money and get this amount of points. And then one day you'll be able to spend it for free product. It is spend $150 and you're going to get a $52 product for free right now, today. It's going to come with your subscription. I love that. If you are not going into your subscription reports, if you are not going into your active with no subscription reports, if you're not going into the dashboard and seeing the dollar amount of your subscription reports, you are missing out on, you are leaving points on the table for no reason. Because again, your job is to tell people, and then they get to decide whether they want to add one more product to get a $52 follow-up sheet or not. But you've got to tell them. If they don't know what they don't know, you know, you have to tell them. You've got to give them these suggestions. And we talked a lot this weekend about relationships. That is a great way to start a relationship with someone, is actually getting them on the phone to say, hey, I've got a free product that you know, to give them a free product, or to give them, especially your active with no subscription, those are your customers that are ordering and not on subscription. So to be able to call them and say, you are missing out and I'm going to help you get something for free. I mean, that, who wouldn't want that phone call? I would. I mean, I'm all about free stuff. So use that and use those subscription reports. The next thing is we've got no membership until the end of the month. Great time for your old customers to come back for free. Great time for old distributors to get re-upped for $35. So make sure you're telling them that. Make sure that you're going, and if somebody in your upline should have project broadcast. If they don't, then I would look into that, because it's definitely worth the money. But anybody on my front line, if you want to write up something to your people, do it, and I'll send it through my project broadcast. I have only sent the that out to my front line. I have not done that to anything other than that. So y'all are welcome on my front line to use mine. And I think on our team, there's several people that have them. I know Luann has one. I know Vicki has one. I know Hillary has it. I know Rhonda has it. I know that Jackie has it. So there's a lot of people on our team that should have that you can access. And then what I'm really, really excited about, Wednesday, we start our X Team Complete X Challenge. We have got over $500 in cash, and it may be even more than that because it's still coming in. But we are going to have so many like drawings and so many giveaways, and we're going to keep this exciting for the next 30 days. Just because they haven't ordered now does not mean you still cannot use this group. The whole purpose of the group is for you to get new people to order, even if they're just starting with the collagen and the probiotics. So, and just so you guys know, distributors are not going to win these prizes. They're giving the money for the prizes. They are not going to win these prizes. These are to entice our customers to flip to distributors. They're to entice our brand new customers to get on subscription. So all of the activities are going to be based on moving forward and retention and building those relationships and finding out what their why is and finding out how it's working for them and getting them to share it with other people. That's what this group is for. They're beta testers. So if you're a beta tester, that means that you're testing and telling, right? That's the whole premise of the group. You're going to test these products and tell people how amazing they are. So, but it's also to knock those people off a fence and get them to join, even if it's with one product, because these two products I'm more excited about than any other products that we've ever had other than Trim Sticks. Trim Sticks, it's in that. So if you can get them to order collagen, probiotics, and Trim Sticks, the triple threat it's $185. It is 125 PB. That's the way to go, because we're going to feature all three of those products in this group over the next 30 days. We're going to talk about how they work together, why they're important, and we're going to be throwing results everywhere on them. So, but we're also going to give away a lot of money, and I'm really excited about that. So there are, oh gosh, I think we've got 3 different executive teams participating in it. So it is really, really exciting, and I can't wait. This is the first time we've ever collabed with another executive team with like an outside, like some kind of challenge or something. I think it's going to work really well. So we are really, really excited about that. So that's what I've got. Did I miss anything? Can somebody tell me if I missed anything that I need to go over? Thank you guys for those of you who traveled to the regional meetings this past weekend. It was so good to see so many of you, and I hope you got your cup full. I hope you got your momentum there, your motivation, which it doesn't matter what we say. Y'all know motivation has to come from inside of you. So I hope you got a fire lit under your honey this past weekend, and that you're ready to go and ready to take your business to the next level, because the only limits that you have are the ones that you set for yourself, and you can do hard things. So are y'all ready to meet my guest? And so many of you already know her and love her as much as I do. But we had someone in on my downline in my team that earned the headquarter trip to Park City, Utah, and she and her sweet husband were able to go this past week. I think it was maybe Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday that she went. It was this past week. I don't remember. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't remember. It was this past week. And I'm going to tell you, the trips that the company sends you on, you are seriously, they roll out the red carpet. They do not hold back on anything. And I want you to experience this through someone's eyes who's just went. So Tabitha Kearney and her husband just got back from Park City, Utah. And Tabby, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, okay, so introduce your husband.
Yes, so this is my husband, Brian Kearney. And Melissa had asked me to be a special guest and to share my experience. And I was like, of course, but I have to bring my husband on too, because it's also about, the guests that you bring. It impacts, the reason here impacts everybody. It's like a domino effect. So
and you know what? And I'll tell you, so my husband he was just like, oh, whatever, it is what it is. It's just going to be like one of those things with all the other products that you've done. And it's just going to be one of these things, and whatever makes you happy. And that's so cute, that kind of thing. He was just, until he went to that trip. When he went to that trip, everything changed, and he realized what we had. So that's why I want to see it. I want to visualize it through fresh eyes, and I want you to take us there. I want you to take us there from the time you got off the plane. I want you to describe what you saw, how you felt. What was it like going to headquarters? What was it like going to the hotel? What was your room like? Tell us there, take us there, and let us live vicariously through you.
Okay, so I'm honestly very excited to share, because just like Melissa says, I knew I was expecting to be great, but I didn't expect it to, I wasn't expecting this amazingness. So the day of the trip, you know, we were super excited. Our flight is at 7 in the morning. We get up and we're bright eyed and bushy tailed. You guys, I even did my makeup before the flight because I'm like, I'm going to be doing all the content. I'm going to take all the pictures. I'm super excited. Not to mention that we have not had alone time or like a trip to ourselves in like over 2 years or like ever really, like a vacation like that ever. So we were super excited. We get to the airport, we get on the plane, and then all of a sudden it's like 45 minutes later, I'm like, what's happening? And then it's like, oh, there is some sort of like malfunction in the plane, and it's going to take up to 2 hours for it to be fixed. Okay, so mind you, we're supposed to be in Utah if all things went right at 4 p.m. At no, 2 p.m. It was going to be 2, and that was plenty of time because the first thing we were going to do was to go to headquarters, and that's what I wanted to do so bad. I wanted to go see where all the magic happened. So I was like super bummed. And I was just kind of like, really, this is how it's going to start. But honestly, I'm going to tell you, I have been really implementing what Callus Siddell said at Sing Clean, and it has stuck with me 100%. And everything works out for me. So immediately I tell my honey, I'm like, look, everything's always works out for us. It's going to be fine. Call the agent. She fixed the flight for us, our connecting flight. Well, after changing my attitude, remember, it was going to take 2 hours to fix. Well, within like what, 15 minutes, they're like, oh, it didn't take that long. So everybody's going to start boarding now. So we're like, okay, that's great. We get on the plane, we make it to our connecting flight, we get to Utah. And I mean, it's beautiful. You can already see in the airport through the windows, all the mountains. And you're like, oh my gosh, is this real life? How gorgeous. And then we're walking, and all you see are 2 beautiful ladies that have a sign that says singular. And I walk up to them and I'm like, hi. They're like, you must be Tabitha. And I was like, yes, because you know, you see it in movies how people come and get you with the car and you're like, oh, that'll never happen. Or I wonder if that'll ever happen. You just don't ever wonder actually sometimes. But it was just so exciting. And they even let me do like a video of them because that to me was like a big deal. Like being picked up at the airport with the car. I felt really special. So we met up with a group of people and we all went down to headquarters in our like a shuttle bus and our driver. Our driver was really nice. The view was amazing. We get to headquarters, and unfortunately, because our flight was delayed, we got there right at 4:30, and no, we got there at 4, and we had until 4:30. So we walk in, and it was kind of like Block and Rock. They greeted us, and they were like, "We're just going to give you the zoo version." You know, we're like, you don't see the animals, but you still pass by and kind of tell them about it. So we did that. It was super awesome. We saw where the magic happened. We saw the departments. My husband, I think for him, it became real. I feel like when I'm like, I work for this company, seeing him, and he's like, yeah, okay, you know, that's cute. It's right. It makes money. That's awesome. But he never pictured it as like a business. He just saw me doing Zooms with my friends and laughing and having fun. So to him, it wasn't like a real company. But I think that really changed his life. He met those guys, and they were super fun to hang out with. And so we get back in and we head to the lodge. Well, we're driving to the mountains and through the mountains. And it just so happened that that day it decided to snow. So, oh my gosh, the pictures don't even do it justice. You're literally driving through the mountains, and there's like, I don't know if they're Christmas trees, but they look like big Christmas trees, snow all over them.
We were full on. And then, no, it was everywhere. It looked like you were.
Yes, like we were plopped right in the middle of a snow globe, like a beautiful snow globe with those beautiful houses on the mountains and the trees. Oh my gosh, so gorgeous. So we get to the front and we have what, 20 minutes until pictures start. Because remember, we're like way behind. So we run to the front to check in, and you know, I'm the first one to walk in, and I'm telling you that, guys, this for a reason. The first to walk in, and I'm greeted by the first person, and everybody else, there was like 4 other couples that had joined us in the group, and they go to their people, and all of a sudden, like within 5 minutes, they're gone, and I'm still here talking to this guy, and I'm like, why did I get the guy that takes forever? But then I thought, everything always works out for me. So then he finally goes, here's your room. Is it okay if you had 2 queen beds? And I was like, well, I mean, we're not really going to use them when we're married. If you have a room, you know, with just 1 bed, I mean, we'll take it if it's no additional charge. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to hook you up, right? Everything always works out for me. And I was like, okay. He's like, I'm going to upgrade you to a mountain view room with a hot tub on the balcony. And like immediately my heart was like beating really fast, and it wasn't the elevation. I was just like really excited.
I think we asked about 5 times.
Are you sure? And he's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I think it's German. I mean, but just the experience and the diversity and just, it was so amazing. So we were shocked. He told us, leave your luggage there. Don't worry. We'll take everything to your room. Go do what you need to do. And I was like, okay. Mind you, I'm a mom. I'm my wife. And we're used to serving people, right? So it's like, wow, when you're getting served, and especially like from a 5-star resort from these people who have amazing customer service. So that was really exciting. We took our pictures and we were able to go back to our room. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I had a gift waiting for me from my amazing coach. She gifted us with something just to have there. And it was just the icing on the cake. It was just that extra little cherry. But we walked in and immediately was like, I don't know if you guys saw my live, because I went live immediately. I was like, everybody has to see this, or like, or it didn't happen, or it wasn't real. But after that, we got dressed, we went to dinner, and I think that was my most favorite part. So we go to these events like Zing Fling and Zing Fest, and we meet everybody at corporate. We meet, the corporate side, and then of course the distributor side, and it's fun and all. But this was something different. It was just a smaller group, so intimate. The stories, the people that you connect with, it's almost like you're going to people who are like on the same level with you, and they have that fire at that same moment as you, and that drive and the passion. And it's just, I can't even explain. It's so hard to explain because I've heard it from other people and their trips, but now that I experience, I completely understand what they're talking about. You really have to experience for yourself. You got to see everybody. We had, I think, Locke sat with us. We had an amazing dinner. It was so hard with the 60-day challenge, but and it was beautiful layout. It was buffet style. Amazing. We did a little bit of talking, a little bit of self-development. So I don't want to really talk about what we did because I don't want to ruin the surprise, but it was amazing. We learned a lot. We bonded a lot that night. It was very intimate. And then we got to enjoy the rest of our night. So guess what we did? We hopped into the hot tub at like 9 at night, 21-degree weather, and legit can see the mountains just in the back. And we were just like, just so taken back. It was just one of those moments where you're like, all that hard work, all that work paid off. And people tell you like it's gonna pay off. You keep doing it, it's gonna pay off. And that moment, it's just that moment. It just, you feel everything, you take it in, and it's so much worth it. And then it makes you think like, well, what else can I do? So we did a lot of reflecting in the hot tub. The next day we got up and we had training. Training was fire as usual. We had Russ Fletcher and Curtis Call go up and do training. Wendy did. Yeah, she did training too. I mean, it was just amazing. We learned a full ton. One specifically so that I kind of encourage everybody to know is to really, really know and understand the compensation plan. So that part I love the most, especially more so for him. So he's a numbers guy. And he's also, my husband, and he sees me in this business. And I invest in my business by attending functions and attending events for my training. So I love how he was able to see how, it all pays off and how the compensation plan goes, the whole business side. But then we were done by noon, and that's when we were able to go and explore. And let me tell you, we saw the craziest listings. So the people in Utah, they're no different than anywhere else. It's a very touristy place. All I know is that we were left at the very top of the hill, and then we were able to just walk down. And it was so convenient. And then just travel all the shops, do the window shopping. One thing particular really stood out to me, and it's the one thing that they all told us. Everybody from the company told us, like, you have to go to that fur coat place that has a fur jock strap. So, like, I don't know if you guys have heard the story, Melissa. Did you ever see that when you went? No. Well, it is legit. A jock strap but made out of fur. So apparently. And it had a tail. They just had the coolest things. We saw fossils. We saw bear skeletons. It was just like really, really, really cool. I wasn't really expecting that because I'm going to be honest. A lot of people tell me like, oh, Mormons a little bit. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mormon. So I'm like, I wonder like how conservative is it going to be? Is it going to be like that? It was actually really cool. So we got to explore all day long. Unfortunately, we went during a time where it was right after winter, right before summer activities. So we weren't able to do like any ski lifts or any skiing. But I think we just had the best time. We really bonded with another couple, and like we were like bubble gum together, like just stuck to each other, and doing shuttles together, and going out for dinner but separately, and then meeting up again. And I mean, that part was just amazing. I met a new accountability partner slash singular bestie, and I love her so much. And we've been talking every day since. So the connection with somebody else and finding that accountability partner, that was big. I think the next day we kind of closed up. We did enjoy the hot tub again that night before we left, even though it was very late. We had a farewell party from 9 to 10:30. So I forgot two things. So everything always works out for me, right? So we got the hotel upgrade. Well, that night when we went to that intimate dinner, I won a digestion duo. Like, let me tell you guys something. Like, I never win. I promise. And I was super excited because everything always works out for me. That's all I kept saying. Well, the next night when we had the farewell party, they were doing some raffling off. They had digestion duos. They had just random, like just trim sticks, X bundles, X plus, X advanced. And I literally mumbled under my breath right when they were starting. Everything always works out. Well, they raffled everything out and they were doing the last X advanced. And guess whose name they pulled? My name. And honestly, I had talked to Locke about it when we had first gotten in about the upgrade before I won the digestion duo, about how everything always works out for me. I'm doing like Calicidel. And then he saw that I won the digestion duo. When he saw that I won the X advance, he was like, I'm like literally freaking out. Like, this is so weird. So that was just, it just really confirmed being at the right place at the right time for me. Like, I just felt like God was just speaking to me, and also just showing me everything that I deserved and everything that we deserved. And it just, I was just reconfirmed and reignited and just like came back recharged. I know he came back recharged. I'm gonna let him talk a little bit about the experience, but for me, it was just everything in general. I encourage everybody to do this, to go, and really, I earned it in 4 months, 3.5 months, 4 months. And just by just sharing, and just remember to be excited. Like, you always have to be excited. Just like Melissa says, motivation comes within. You have to motivate yourself sometimes to be excited. And sometimes, let's just be real, we have to fake it till we make it. But that excitement, it's what attracts people. And then when people see that you can do it, I've had people message me asking me, how did you get that? So I'm like, well, let me tell you how. But not because anything for me, because I personally want them to experience this, because it's seriously so amazing. Like, I mean, I could talk about it forever, and I'm just like all over the place because there's just so much. But it was definitely an experience, and all I keep saying is I can't wait for the next one. It'll be sometime this year. I know that because honestly, like, I love the free travel. We don't get to travel for free. We got 3 girls, 14, 10, and 4. So it's kind of hard to break away because, they're getting, my eldest is, getting to that busy season in high school, and then they're just different groups. So we never really have that time. And so if we can be motivated even more by lavish, all expenses paid trips for just a little bit of work, and you're like finding it in your day to do that work and be consistent, then to us, like, we're going to take it 100%. So I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to just kind of see if he wants to add in some of his favorite parts or how he felt.
Yeah, like Melissa was saying earlier, like I was said earlier, I was just kind of thinking.
I can't hear.
Oh.
I was just thinking kind of until the trip. This is just something that my wife does with her friends on the computer, and she sells some stuff, and whatever. It's pretty cool, whatever. But it wasn't until the trip when I actually saw headquarters, met some of the people, met other people from all over the country. I mean, even out of country, there was some people from like Canada there too.
Yeah.
So, and just seeing it all, I mean, it like made it all real for me almost. almost. Not that it wasn't real before. It was,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I even caught myself during the training. I mean, I even took pages and pages of notes. I started writing stuff down. I was like, really? This is awesome. You can get paid for what? This is awesome. So I'm just, I probably took like 10, 20 pages worth of notes probably. It was fun. Like even since we've been home, I'm like, hey, we need to like post some stuff. Or hey, we need to do something. We need to do something, get this going. Like so like I'm like her mascot now. Like I'm like, hey, we need to do some stuff. Let's do some stuff.
And it's true because we got back Wednesday. We took Thursday off to kind of regroup because the elevation thing that everybody talks about being about 10,000 high. You think, oh, that's surely 10,000 feet. Surely not me. I'll be fine. You guys, I work out like
Every
3 to
day.
5 times a week, and I do
Almost every day.
cardio every single time. And I could not even just walk up like 10 flights of stairs without like, oh my god. This is like something.
10 steps. I was like, call the concierge. We need the oxygen tank.
But I mean, you adjusted. It wasn't too bad. They just tell you to stay hydrated. I mean, that to me was interesting. We had never been to that part of the country before, so we've never experienced that. So that was fun to experience that together. But we took that Thursday off to regroup, and on Friday, he's like, "I'm taking some samples of trim sticks." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "I'm gonna take them to the girls at work." He's a PTA. He works with nurses, and I mean, he also works with PTs, but mainly with women. He's like, "I know a lot of them talk about this stuff. I'm gonna take it." And it's funny because in the past, I used to take and hand it out to someone. He's like, "Oh, no, like what? I'm not gonna give it to them." But see, now that he understands and sees the bigger picture of everything, and he took like 8 samples. I was like, "Dude."
Hey, snitches get stitches.
And he passed those out. And guess what? Also, that same day, he sent me a contact name and number, and he was like, "This is one of my patients. She's interested in losing weight. Call her this afternoon." I'm like, "Okay." So for me, choosing the person that you want to bring along, they allow you to bring one guest, all expenses paid as well. I wanted to bring my husband to this because I really wanted him to understand and feel. I mean, he's in the medical field. He's got a servant's heart. He loves people. He loves serving people and helping people. So I thought that maybe it would be, an eye opener for him, and we can really rock this and do this together. I mean, because 2 brains are better than one, and it's also makes it easier. So I made sure and I picked him, but you can pick whoever you want and choose whoever you want. So keep that in mind also whenever you earn it. But for me, I brought my honey to experience, and I'm very glad. We had the best time. We felt like us again, recharged, and honestly just shout this from the rooftops. I was telling them when I spoke the first night that next year or the next headquarters retreat, that needs to be doubled or tripled in size. Like people need to know what we are doing and why, and to not be afraid to offer everything and anything that they're looking for, because we have it for them. So to me, it's just like really shouting it out. And that's what I've really been loud about lately since I've been back, because I feel it's something that everybody deserves. I mean, we work so hard in these jobs that, you sometimes don't even get a raise. 3-4 years pass by, you're still doing the hard work, and it's what you call a dead-end job. I mean, there's nowhere to go from there. And here, there's no glass ceilings. And at the same time, I earn this by just literally 30 to 45 minutes a day. So we can help other people go out there and experience what's out there for them. There's so much beautiful greatness and amazing things for everyone. I mean, God wants us to want more and desire more, and it's okay. So it is so cool how we have this company to use it as a vehicle to get there, because I'm having fun along the way. I know you guys have fun whenever you're coaching your distributor. So just remembering all of that is very much. I don't know if I'm talking too much, or if you want to ask me some questions for me to answer.
Well, I absolutely love that you spoke into existence. Everything always works out for me, because it's the same concept. What I am is. If you speak it, you've got to believe it first. And it's just, I love that. I mean, because everything worked out for you. You thought, the plane was delayed and it could have gone a whole different way in your head, but you jerked it back in, you declared it, and then it happened. I love that so much. So okay, so and I'm just gonna tell you, if you thought Park City was amazing, Sundance is 1,000 times better than Park City. And hands down, you can't even describe it. So Sundance is the director trip. That would be the next one that you earn, 1,000 times better than Park City. And I will tell you, the Founders Club trips are better than any passport trip that we have. So there's a trip to Cabo that everybody can earn that we will go on in January. That is not rank based. Everybody can earn that. So Founders Club it's a whole different experience because you have a whole week of no meetings. It's just networking. So, but Sundance is probably, and I've been to Dubai, I've been to on the cruise, and Sundance is my favorite. And that's my favorite trip. So if anybody earns Sundance and they don't have anybody to take with them, I will sacrifice for the betterment of your good and go with you and make that sacrifice for you if you need somebody. I'm just saying. But I'm so glad, Brian, that you got to experience and you got to see the culture and you got to see that what she does truly makes a difference in people's lives, and that you're on board to share with other people. It's exactly the same exact attitude that my husband has. And now my husband actually sets up chats for me. He sends messages. He does my Teamsy. He does all kinds of things. This is 7 years it took me to get him to do that much, but he is my biggest cheerleader and biggest supporter. And that's what I need. And I love how they make it family based. I love how they take into account that it's not just about you. It's about you and your family, because your family's sacrificing time away from you in order for you to build this business. So why not reward the people who mean the most to you as well? So, and then when you get to your mentor trip, you get to take everybody to Sundance for free. So you get to take your kids too. So earn the mentor trip back to Sundance. But I love Utah. I love everything about it. And I'm so glad y'all got to see it snow. Does anybody have any questions for them? I'm going to open up the floor for just a second and see if there's any questions for y'all. Anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be, can be feelings, thoughts, if they got to see something, favorite parts.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
It's kind of about the breathing and stuff in Utah. Was it really kind of scary?
It wasn't too bad. It's just when you do anything too strenuous, like you don't think about it right here, like going up a flight of stairs, like 10 steps is not that big of a deal, but just the air is a little bit thin. So once you get up to the top, it's not like you couldn't breathe. We weren't suffocating or anything. We're just kind of like, man.
We're not used to being out of breath by a couple of steps. And I mean, break and then get back to it.
We weren't in danger at any point.
No.
So.
But it was interesting. I mean, it's the whole experience. That's what it is. Like, because that's how it is when you go to that part of the country. And I wanted every single experience. And I mean, you're being a little bit out of breath, I'll take it. But that's what I love the most.
It's basically like 5 steps in Utah equals 20 steps here. I mean, it's just the difference in elevation. It makes you out of breath a lot quicker.
Yeah, they were telling us that like athletes go up there to train in the high elevation, and that way when they go back home, they're like in way better condition and have much more endurance, just because it's a little bit more difficult to breathe up there. So then when they get that down to sea level, they're rock stars.
Anybody else got anything?
I would love to hear more about your team building and maybe a principle or two that you, beyond consistency, that you felt like helped you to really get there, or helped you to develop your leaders to just strengthen your team and make it grow.
I think for me, honestly, the main thing is just remaining excited, to always remember, why we're doing this, and to be excited, because let's face it, when you're working your business, there's our highs and lows. And like I was explaining to you guys earlier, sometimes it's just hard, but just remembering what we're doing this for and why. I mean, there's two reasons why, really, when it comes down to it. It's for your why, and it's to help others for their goals and their why. So for me, just remaining excited because, I mean, if I talk to you like, oh, how's the day today? You're gonna be like, well, that's boring. But if you, you talk to people like, hey girl, how are you? And you always have that fire and that excitement. I feel like it's always going to keep the momentum. So for me, it's just remaining excited. And then, like I said, sometimes you have to make it. Sometimes I have to like, okay, I really don't, life happens in the background and kids are running around, but I got to follow up with someone or I got to talk to my team member. I really have to regroup and be like, I can do this. And then just make myself excited. But then once you get to talking to them, I mean, that passion comes back. It's just that reminder. I feel like the excitement is just like Melissa said earlier. I said that earlier today. People don't know if you don't tell them. So just continuing to spread the word, talk to everybody, and that has been. And you hear it all the time, but after Utah, it just like just gotta talk to everybody. And so we've literally been talking to everybody we come across, but just making small talk and building relationships. So that for me is, I think, the excitement and communication.
I love it. I love it. And that's all true. Yes, you've got to inspire, and you've got to create that atmosphere that people want to continue, even when it's hard, because I'm going to tell you, it's a perseverance and a grit that you've got to get up underneath your in your spirit. And a lot of times you've got to take people back to that why that Tabby was talking about. You do it for your why, but then in order to keep your people excited, you've got to continually put that why in their face and say, yeah, don't you remember this, what you're doing it for? You can't leave. Do it even when you don't feel like it. That's the truth. Good questions. Anything else? Well, Tabitha, I am so proud of you for earning this. I'm so proud of the work that you put in order to earn it. I cannot wait until you and Brian get to go to the next trip and experience that, because they just get better and better, and they just get more and more like, pinch me, I cannot believe I'm here. And it's just, they send you to these places and do the things that they know that you would never spend the money on yourself to do. Because most of us that have kids, we don't have the money to spend on ourselves, and we would never take lavish vacations because there's always some other thing to spend your money on. So they want to do that. They want to spoil you. And Hillary said, downright spoil you. Yes, they do. So, and I'll just tell you too, Sundance, when you stay at Robert Redford's resort, my favorite thing about the resort is the bathrooms have heated floors. And it's the most amazing thing in the whole world, especially when it's cold and you come in from that hot tub and you walk in the bathroom and the floors are heated. It's not cold. All of a sudden you just feel warm. It's amazing. So I cannot wait for y'all to experience that. And yes, I'm putting them in my house just because of that. Well, you guys get to work. Why is my face not on? Oh my gosh, sorry. So get to work. You're going to have to find something inside of you to drive you. You're going to have to find a reason to work even harder than you are now. Because if you want to get to the next level, you're going to have to do something different than what you've been doing. You're going to have to work harder. You're going to maybe have to work another 15 minutes, another 20 minutes. Put in as much time as you can on this, because it's going to pay off in the end. And, gosh, I love you guys so much. I'm so excited. And again, congratulations. Shout out to 60 Day Hard people, because we are killing it. And I'm so excited. Tomorrow is our 30th day. We're halfway there, you guys, halfway there tomorrow. I can't even believe it. So we've got those of you who are not in our 60 Day Hard group, after this next 30 days, we're going to start doing it 30 days at a time. And so we are going to open it up to everybody. So start now. If you're not in that group, find you some accountability people and do a 30-day hard with them. And that's where you follow the meal plan. You don't cheat, you exercise, you feed your brain, you do all the things to grow yourself and make you an example and make you a product of the product and make you walk the walk instead of just talking the talk. So find somebody to do that if you're not doing it. But 30 days, you guys, woohoo! I'm so excited. But I will leave you guys declaring Ephesians 3:20 over you. God is going to do exceedingly and abundantly more than we can think or ask because we honor him. His blessings are going to chase us down and overtake us. We are in the right place at the right time, and I declare a boldness to rise up in each one of you. God is going to open supernatural doors. People are going to seek us out, and we are going to rise in the ranks because we give him the honor and the glory for it all. Love y'all so much. Have a great night. See ya. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kearney's, again for being on.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Love y'all.
Have a great night.